Well, here we are on Morse Court, not too far from the center of town. And this is part of the Lower Pine Street / Newport Park, Powder House Hill subdistrict. It has several parts, but if you're looking at a map, this is part of the red district. So there are 5 properties on Morse Court that are included in the red district. And with the exception of one, they are already multifamily housing. There's something to keep in mind with respect to the red district, and that is there's a 5-unit cap. So since many of the properties are small and already contain multifamily housing, it is very unlikely that additional units will be added to these, if at all.
Not only that, you can't put more than 3 units in a single building. So if you wanted 5 units, you'd have to have a 3-unit building and a 2-unit building, and that again would keep the scale of the buildings much lower than for a typical apartment complex.
So part of the corner of this district is the gas station. The gas station has no plans to be sold right now, but if the owner did choose to sell the entire piece of property and the new owner wanted to develop multifamily housing, they could under this district. But remember the 5-unit cap. Although it is more than half an acre, there still would be limited to 5 units on that parcel. So here we are at 21 Pine Street. This is the lower end of the Lower Pine Street, Newport Park, Powder House subdistrict. 21 Pine is quite dense and contains many condominiums. Obviously, this is already multifamily housing. That's why we included it in one of our districts. It is very unlikely that all of the owners of this condominium complex would agree to sell their property to a different developer. The architecture of the condominium complex blends in with town, and any additional building that would take place in this neighborhood would need to conform with the architecture here and with this neighborhood according to the design guidelines.
So one of the things that's interesting about this property is that it has all the parking needed for all the residents. And in fact, one of the rules for this zoning district is that there be 1.5 parking spaces per unit, which is what's in our basic zoning anyway.
And that's off-street parking, correct?
That is off-street parking, that's right. In this case, it's in garages, usually under these buildings, and it's very well hidden. It looks very nice. And the other thing is that this kind of development, we're close to the downtown, but we're moving down Pine Street. And this is what's happening along Pine Street. And you can see, as we go along, different multifamily housing that's here already. And this is the kind of style and density and scale that we hope to see in the district as development occurs.
It's worth pointing out that the next group of properties here, as we proceed up Pine Street, these are all very dense multifamily housing units now. Now, these homes are contained within the red district, and they are relatively large lots compared with the smaller lots we just looked at. But keep in mind, that's why we incorporated a 5-unit cap. You cannot have more than 5 units on any piece of land, one parcel that is in the Lower Pine Street to Newport Park, Powder House Hill subdistrict.
This is Newport Park. This is the largest property in the district and is part of its own little sub-district because we want to have different development rules for this property than for the rest of Pine Street. This is owned by the Manchester Housing Authority. It has 32 apartment units in it, mostly for seniors. And it was built in the mid-60s and really has never been renovated. The second floor apartments are all walk-ups, which is not good for seniors, as you might imagine. And we would like to see this property renovated and expanded to make it more efficient and economically self-sustaining. There are 3 acres here, which is plenty of land to do more development. We've also thought it would be smart to have a height limit of 3.5 stories here to facilitate the use of elevators. So we are here, right at the edge of the district. This is the Powder House Reservation. This will never be developed. It's not part of the district at all. This little empty spot is the Newport Park, where we just were, and that could be developed with additional units. And it's an existing apartment complex, so that makes sense to have it included in the district. Now we're going to go way around here to the Powder House. It's our next stop, which also is up against the Powder House Reservation.
So the last group of buildings that are in the red district, the Lower Pine sub-district, are these 3 multi-use buildings. And that makes sense because in this district, multifamily and commercial businesses are already allowed. So there are 3 buildings, the yellow building, this building, and this building. These are all now eligible to be converted to multifamily housing if the owners so choose. What's interesting is there is already multifamily housing in this building here and that building there. It currently has 6 units. It would be capped at 5 under the multifamily zoning overlay district. And the same would be true of the others. And their height would be limited to 2.5 stories.
Okay, this is Powder House Apartments. This is 29 units on 3 floors. Again, this is an older property. It's not age restricted, but it is affordable and was purchased by the North Shore CDC, a nonprofit developer. And we selected this to be included in the district because it's already multifamily housing and it's in need of renovation as well. Now, one of the things about this property is that it's right up against Central Pond. And people are worried about expanding development near the pond. However, the MBTA law does not supersede environmental laws, so the Conservation Commission would have to grant approval for any kind of development here. All right, so this is our last stop in the district. This is Sawmill Circle, and it's got, I believe, 11 units here. Not a very big piece of property. It's very dense, and this is the kind of housing we might see if any development actually does occur as a result of these new bylaws. Thank you for watching. Hope you watch the other videos with the other districts as well, and we'll see you at town meeting.